Hey everybody, how you doing? I am back once again with another exciting head scratching with a cap on episode of Insane Disappearances with a very special, I won't say very special, but it's a brand new case that just hit the news waves, and I got the story right here for you to hear. And it's a whopper. And I wanted to kind of recap on some things that I talked about on my last video too. But the main thing here is to talk about this person right here. Now it says here at the top here, missing toddler Kenneth Howard vanishes from Kentucky home. Oh man! All right, now this is coming from Salyersville, Kentucky. A 22-month-old boy was reported missing Sunday night from his home in Montgomery County, Kentucky. Now, a man named Captain Carter Conley of the Montgomery County Rescue Squad said Kenneth Neil Howard was last seen at his home in the small town of Salyersville around 7:30 p.m. All right, now this is something that the manager director Robert Prater said, to WTVQ WTVQ TV on Monday. It's gut wrenching. It really is. We were here all night last night. Flew the drone. Had 3 different dogs out here to try and find the child. Montgomery County. This is like I said, Robert Prater from the Montgomery County Emergency Management Director. He's a manager of emergency management. Anyway, now this is a beautiful little 22-month-old boy. This is something that Rick Mortimer said. Now he is from the Montgomery County Rescue Squad. I guess he's one of the volunteers or whatever. And yeah, he's a very cute little 22-month-old boy, because this is not the first time a young boy under the age of 1.5 or 2 has gone missing. I think I read a couple of them in one of David Paulides' books, probably either in the first one, I think it's the western, I think it's like the northwestern area, I believe. But I'm gonna show you a photo of this little boy. He is real adorable, honestly. Blow it up here so you can see it real good. Cute little thing. All right, here we go. Get back here to the screen so I can see what the heck I'm doing here. All right, here we go. This is the little 22-month-old boy, Kenneth Neil Howard. Ain't he cute? Just adorable. Just pinch those little cheeks. Anyway, but yeah, so he's pretty much very young. I'm surprised. This is the first time in a while I've heard of a case like this where a 22-month-old boy actually just vanished from his home. Now, he told WTVQ Kenneth may have gotten out of my tongue is tied here. Okay. Says that Kenneth may have gotten out through the back door of their home, which could be a possibility. Now, of course, it also says that this could have happened while his father was, talking to someone in the front yard, on the front porch. Now, Conley said the father told him he was with his son in the front yard. He said he turned back towards their home, and when he turned around, Kenneth was gone. Okay? Conley also said the toddler has run down the family's driveway in the past. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Listen to what this guy said. And I'm going to go back to the photo about Kenneth. And I'm going to talk about another case that is very similar. Creepy, yet similar. Anyway, I'm going to go back to what he said. Conley said the father told him he was with his son in the front yard. Now, first of all, he said he was with his son. And he was talking to someone on the front porch, another person. Person unidentified. Now, listen to this part. He said he turned back toward their home, and when he turned around again to face Kenneth, or to get the person that was on the front porch with him, Kenneth was gone. Conley also said the toddler has run down the driveway in the past. Okay. Now, do you guys remember the little boy I talked about? Dior Kuntz. This was back in, I believe, 2017 in July. Can't remember the date too well. But this was in July. And he was, sorry, streak of light kind of arc, that way, Anyway, he was at a lake with his family. This is in Leodore, Idaho. Okay? And the parents wanted to find a good spot to where their son could see the fish, because he loved the fish. He loved the fishies. That's what he always called them, the fishies. And the grandfather was with the little boy, and he was there with one of his friends. Now, his friend just happened to be, I think they say he was a child molester, I believe. I'm not sure. Can't remember too much about what he said about it, but I think that was part of it. Which is the second part. And he said his grandson was right next to him. He said he turned, and when he looked back, his son just vanished. Think about it. He just said the same thing. He turned towards the house, and when he looked back, his son was gone. Now, keep in mind, it's kind of funny how they mentioned how he was on the front porch talking to somebody. So the information is kind of sketchy because of the different time frames. He says he's outside in the front yard with his son. Okay. Now all of a sudden he's on the porch talking to someone who came over to talk to him, I guess. So I would imagine if he's on the front porch and then in the front yard, maybe they don't have a fence. So maybe the boy ran to the back when he wasn't looking, and he just vanished from the home. Where he could have went, I don't know. But how could a little child, 22 months old, get gone that fast to where nobody can find him? There's not too many places that a little boy like that can hide, let alone know about. Okay? 22 months old. Okay? Let's think about Dior Kuntz. He was 2. Okay? He was with his grandfather. He literally vanished from sight. This little boy literally vanished from sight. Although I'm thinking about the person that he was talking to on the porch. How come he was not mentioned as far as one of the ones who witnessed that boy just poof? Because if he looked back and turned back to face his son or the person that was on the porch, how is it that the person on the porch didn't see the fact that he vanished without a trace? How come they didn't put him up there to say, oh, he witnessed it? They just said the father did. So we don't even know the gender of this person, whether it was a male or a female. Where was the wife at the time? Where was the mother at the time? Because they may not even be married. He could have just been dating her and things kind of got out of hand. Or he just wasn't doing it right. I don't know. It could be anything. All I know is this is a very sketchy case because it's not making any sense because of what's being said on the internet, of course. You can only go by so much when you only hear what they post. Not here. Well, here too, because they got a video on here too, but I can't record anything on my phone right now. I gotta, free up some space on my phone, so kind of in a pinch. Anyway, so getting back to the rest, and we'll get back into this after I finish reading. Alright, now it says here also, cold temperatures in the area Sunday night has search crews worried about the possibility of Kenneth becoming hypothermic. And they see there's that damn word again. But that's also a true statement, because if it's cold and he gets hypothermic, and we're talking about a 22-month-old boy, he probably wasn't even wearing the proper kind of clothes to even be out there, right? Probably was just in his jeans and a shirt. You know, I think they did mention somewhere else to the description, like what he was wearing. I think it's not on here because this just goes all the way down to the bottom of the page, and that's it. Excuse me. Okay. What else? Oh yeah. Okay. Now it says here they just tore up. Obviously, it's the not knowing where he's at. Is it not knowing what happened? They're just emotional. But it says here it's a typo. It was supposed to say they're just emotional, but they put they're just emotions. You know. I mean, now they said there are just emotions flying all over the place. That could be, you know, sound a lot better, but you know, what can I say? Anyway, now everybody's trying to be optimistic, but they're all hoping for the best. And this is what that guy Prater said. Now, Connolly said the area is very rural with fairly rough terrain. Crews searched through the night Sunday and for most of the day on Monday. Search teams are expected to head back out on Tuesday. Okay, so that's pretty much it on that. You know, it's a very sketchy case, but I want to get back into what was said about this little boy and the fact that he was with his papa, and his papa turned back to the house, which I don't know why. Now maybe he heard the phone ring, and by the time he could even think about going inside the house, he was like, wait, he had to stop because his son is outside, he's with this person. Now, whether he knew the person or not, as far as you could trust him outside with your son, I think that could be the reason why he didn't go anywhere. Because if you say he looked back towards the house and then turned around and son was gone, if the person was actually still there, because like I said, the time frames ain't matching up. You say they say he was talking to someone on the porch. Now, the person probably already left before that happened, because I would think this guy would have said, you know, the father would have put him up here to say that he witnessed it too. That would be the perfect proof right there. But he didn't. So, two things. Either they both had something to do with their son disappearing, or the person left before he vanished from sight. So, you know, it's anybody's guess of what that is all about. You know, I got a sneaking suspicion that it could be a missing 411 criteria, or it could be something that we know that detectives from the Kentucky Police Department can handle, or even the FBI, since they only handle cases dealing with young children being kidnapped. Okay. Anyway, let me see. I want to look up Dior Kuntz again because I want to show you something, because I'm thinking that this is something that's kind of making sense here. But I'm thinking the boy looks just like Dior Kuntz. You know, I'm guessing that just, you know, I mean, looking at him, I can almost see a resemblance. You know, I can almost see that. Same kind of hair, straight, almost like a, let's see, grown man. Oh, it's one of my comment on my post on Kendrick Johnson. Yeah, he definitely does resemble Dior Kuntz, which is kind of weird. I'll be like, wow, this is like kind of spooky, but it does look like him. That's it. It's just kind of, weird how he looks just like him almost. I'm gonna take a picture of him, and I'm gonna let you see for yourself. I want to blow this photo up a little bit more so you can see it better. Yeah, they got like that helmet hair. Like it's straight going down over the not helmet hair, but the the Beatles haircut. He's got a Beatles haircut. Yeah, that's the thing, because Dior Kuntz had a Beatles haircut too at one time. I think some of the photos of him, he did have like a Beatles haircut. Except his hair was a lot thinner than the Beatles. Theirs was like kind of thick, so it's like it was probably thick and long. They just cut it so it look like it's falling over their face or something like that. But yeah, so I'm going to show you these two little boys. And I want you to kind of tell me what you think about all this. Tell me if you think he looks like him. Let me get the screen here so I can see what the heck I'm doing once again. Okay, now, let me just do this little back and forth thing with the photo. You see this little boy right here? This little boy is the one I just talked about. Kenneth Howard. This is Dior Kuntz. Howard. Dior Kuntz. Howard. Now, I'm not going to say that he looked like he could be his twin. I'm just saying he kind of he looks identical to him. Okay? That's all I'm saying. And it's just kind of ironic how the stories match up. How the grandfather looks down. He looks away, then looks back, and then his grandson just vanishes from sight. Nobody saw him disappear. And that a lot of these cases, when they disappear, there's no sound of them leaving. There's no sound of them being carried away. There's no sound, period. It's like sound gets canceled around them in a bubble, like, so you can't hear them scream. And then when they take them, they just fade out into whatever. I mean, it's not like he was walking into a portal or a wormhole. He literally just vanished from sight. It's like he was taken out of his own existence. Weird, but I have a sneaky suspicion that he is alive, but on another level somewhere. I know the parents don't want to hear that. Of course they don't. But this is a channel that talks about stuff like that, so I have to say it. But I don't have to say it out of respect for the parents. I get that all the time with some of the people that look at the videos about certain people, and they say that I'm wrong for talking like that, and you need to respect the parents or the family members. Okay, I understand that, but the truth will never be told if you keep hiding it from people or holding it back so they can't hear it. Okay, because when the time comes for them to realize that it is true, let's just say they see it for themselves. They're going to realize that all those years they kept saying that, oh no, that didn't happen. That's impossible. He was kidnapped. And then all of a sudden you realize that is a possible thing to happen. Then you're going to be like, okay, you wasted all those years not trying to talk to someone that can give you some insight on the matter, or someone that can put your mind at ease that it's a possibility he's still alive. He's being taken care of by another family when they realize that he was not from that level. It's a very common thing on other levels where people just walk into these things and they end up on another planet. Well, not another planet, but another parallel Earth or another level. Perpendicular to this one and somewhat identical. So all I'm saying is, it's a possible thing. They even talked about it on David Paulides' TV show, the one that only lasted for one episode, which was on purpose, I would believe, because if he tried to put something like that out there full time, the raising hairs that would cause them to shut him down. Seriously, that's the only reason why he did that. Just like with the movie, he only came out with one. It was a good one. I didn't like the part where he cut out the part of the ranger. I understood why, but still, I wanted to hear what he had to say. But he would have lost his job had he done that. So I get why he did that, and 2 thumbs up for you, my friend, really, because I would have done the same thing anyway. But I still wanted to know what he had to say. But you would never hear what the park ranger would have to say, especially they know that these things are happening in their parks. Because remember, the government knows what's happening. Only problem is they can't do anything to stop it. So they just let whatever happens run amok. They ain't got no other choice because they know they don't have the power to stop whatever this is. You know, it could be a plethora of things. Nature spirits. The dark rooms from another level. Leaving wormholes open on purpose because they give 2 fucks about humans. Which this is a very possible and a very accurate thing because it has been proven that they do not like humans. They will soon rather eat you, which is what they actually do, before they say, oh, I like you. I love you so much. Let's have a baby. Well, no. But seriously, though, it's a possibility that those are very close in proximity when it comes to what happened to that little boy. 2 different scenarios, but very accurate. All on the same page. So, you never know. Just wanted to put that out there just in case you're thinking about that too, but thought maybe, no. But yeah, I'm thinking that too, trust me. Okay, now, it says here also, oh, that was it. Yeah, that was it. I forgot. Okay, now, getting back to the matter at hand here. It's definitely a possibility that these things are happening. The little boy, think about it, if a little boy vanishes from sight, and the same thing happened back in 2017 to another little boy, completely separate from his, generation or his family member, they're not related. Okay, this happened in 2 different states, miles and miles apart from each other. Years, 2, 3, 4 years later. So how is that possible? Because think about it. David Paulides has said that a lot of these cases are repeats, where you always see the same pattern. A 2-year-old boy vanishes from sight, never to be seen again. And it kept happening. It was always anywhere between 1.5 and 2 years old, or 2.5. Because the 2.5 boy was Jerry Adadero. He was 2.5 before he vanished without a trace. Okay. Now I remember, I think his father's name is Alan Adadero. He gave an interview he did an interview on YouTube of a guy, and it put me on a whole new perspective about what happened because he was there. That's why I always said that a label with a definition won't tell you everything. A very detailed description of something can tell you everything. Just like what he did. He told the interviewer everything about that case from the rooter to the tutor. Okay? Everything. Even the parts that I didn't even know about, like the helicopter that was searching for the boy ended up crashing. Just like what happens in a lot of these cases. Like, there was a woman that was trapped in the mountain. She kept calling 911 and kept the call, actually, it kept being sent to some offsite for 911. And then finally, she got through. They sent a chopper. But the entire chopper crashed, killing the woman who they were searching for and the entire crew. Okay? And this happened again in what happened with Jared Adadero, because they said they heard a bunch of people speeding in one direction, including he heard fire engines and ambulances and all that stuff. That was why, because the search crew in the helicopter crashed. I bet you didn't know that, did you? And you probably do. Maybe I don't. I think David Paulides did. I think he did mention that. I think. If he didn't mention it in any of his interviews on Coast to Coast AM, which I do not watch anymore, Surprising as it is, 'cause I loved that show. But once I realized that they don't have the answers either, I said, you know what, I'm gonna just stop listening, because all they do is theorize. All they do is have these like prestigious like professors from a college like Caltech that specialize in certain things like demons and all this other bull crap. There's no such thing as demons. They're just dark beings, not demons. Those are just labels, okay? Give me a freaking break. Anyway, so like I said, if he did not mention that, I'm telling you now, because this is what he said in the interview on YouTube, that a helicopter crashed in the middle of searching for that boy. And this has happened many a time on occasion. Many a time. In different scenarios, in different places all over the world. It's crazy. You know? So, like I said. But anyway, okay. What I also want to talk about is the video that I posted not too long ago with my Friday, as a matter of fact. That's when I posted it. And I was talking about what I was talking about. You know what that was. I was talking about this newly large atmosphere that they just happened to discover. Saying that it was bigger than what they expected. Or it spanned out farther than they expected. We talking about past the sun. Past the sun. But it's a dark layer of the atmosphere, which is what it is. But here's the crazy part. You can literally see through it, because when they sent the first probe into space and they turned the probe around to view the Earth, they saw a tiny little blue dot in the distance. Now, first of all, I just want to say, I'm not going to get into that part yet, but I just want to say there is a reason why I talk about these other topics along with the missing people. It's because there is a connection in everything that I have said. Because there's a very huge puzzle here that has to be solved. And these missing people is a part of that puzzle. You solve that puzzle, you solve everything else that goes along with it. But see, it's like a, how can I put this? It's like a link of chains, okay? Each loop of a chain is purposed to be connected to the next loop of the chain, okay? So everything that I talk about, every video I posted that didn't have anything to do with missing, 411. These videos that I posted, like the live show with the speaker and the light, who are my very good friends, known them for years. Okay, there's a connection with everything that's happening. Okay, it's a part of the puzzle, which is also a part of the truth. I know people look for evidence, they look for proof, they look for something that's visual, something that you can see, something you can say, okay, he's telling the truth, it's all real. I won't have to do that. You'll be able to see it for yourself. You just have to realize that it's actually happening. Well, not realize. You have to process the fact that it's actually happening and believe it. You don't have to have faith. You just have to, and I'm not even going to say realize, I said it before. You have to just process the idea that it's happening first, and then accept it. Don't doubt it. Just know that this is what's happening. It's actually happening right in front of you. It's real. Okay? So many people doubt the truth. And the truth is, all this stuff that's happening is actually happening. It's real. Like the chupacabra, Bigfoot. The ones that don't believe in this stuff are the ones that's never seen one before. I've never seen a Bigfoot before. I've never seen a chupacabra. But I know they're real. Why? Because I just do. Why? Because it just is what it is. Because think about it. For you to hear so many stories about all these cryptid creatures that dated back for decades, ages, how could you not believe it if they just keep talking about it? Okay? Now, I got a friend who told me they saw a werewolf, but they knew exactly what it was because it looked like one. Okay? I mean, I've seen, there was a freaking grave in my house twice. Saw it with my own two eyes. Now, any other person that I would tell that to would say, oh, you were just smoking. Yeah, you were smoking weed. Or, first of all, it's illegal in Georgia, so no, I don't do that. And even if it wasn't, I still don't do that. Don't need it. I'm already there. I don't need to heighten my senses or heighten my consciousness because I'm already there. I've been there. It's just a time and a place to say the things that I had to say. There was a reason for me not to say what I had to say. I had to wait for the right moment. And when that moment came, I knew exactly when to do it. My inner being told me so. Yes, your inner being does talk. And you can talk to it as well. It speaks back. You just have to realize that it does. And believe that you're not going crazy. Because you're not. Things that are weird to people, things that are so unexplainable that it freaks them out, is because they can't process the information that they're receiving. When my mind was opened and the clutter was removed, it made it very easy for me to believe all that stuff. Because it helped me realize that it was real. I mean, I already knew, but the clarity that came through after that helped me realize that all this stuff is happening. Even when you see something out the corner of your eye and it looks like it's moving, and you turn and it's gone. You want to know why? Because they pass through our frequency. They pass through our level from other dimensions that are unseen to our naked eye. Because they are on a higher frequency. That's the reason why. Just like our guardian angels are on a higher frequency. That's the reason why we can't see them. My guardian angel is standing right there. I feel his silhouette all the time. Either behind me, because normally when he's behind me, I feel his energy, and it makes my hair stand up, or it makes my back tingle. From basically, it's like, let's just say you were cutting out one of those little hand link like people, and you just spread it out. You see it like that. Now imagine a flat portion of your body on the back of your body, from your head all the way down. I'm talking shoulders, arms, elbows, the back of your hand or the side of your hand, the back of your butt, your back, your thighs, all that. I can feel the energy from here to here, all the way down. Okay, when he's standing behind me, but I feel his presence right here, right next to me, because he's always there. He's never too far away either if he has to go take care of something. Because the messengers, the guardian messengers, not guardian angels, but messengers, because that's truly what they are. They are messengers for the Creator to us. See, the Creator doesn't talk to humans directly. That's why he has his angels, to convey the message to us. And if we have a question, they take that question to him and they come back with the answer. But they don't have to literally go to him. They can contact him through mental telepathy, which is a universal language, which is how I talk to my guardian angel, which is the reason why, if you can't see him, at least I can talk to him up here. And I do know I'm talking to him, trust me. I know people have asked me that question a lot. Say, are you sure you're talking to your guardian angel? I mean, it could be a demon. There's no such thing as demons, people. The name alone is just a label. They are dark beings. Yes, these are the demons that they talk about, these dark beings. They come in the form of some grays. Some of them come in the form of a shadow that is solid. Or at least it looks solid anyway, because it's so thick. You can't see through it. I see them a lot. One time I was driving, well, not me, I wasn't driving. My mom was driving. We were coming from somewhere. We were driving down the dark road, going back to the house. And I literally saw a shadow person going like this, running across the street real fast. So it's almost like he didn't want to get hit, or it didn't want to get hit. I saw the legs, and it was that particular shadow person was actually transparent. I could see through it, and the one that showed up in my house once was transparent. This is no lie. This is in my mom's house when I was living with her before I got out on my own. Talking too fast. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm at the top of the steps. My nana is right here. This is, of course, before she passed away. My mom is here. We talking. It's at night. It's dark. I was talking, and all of a sudden I see something out of the corner of my eye walk up the stairs, because the way the stairs were in my mom's house, you walk down the stairs, there's the front door right here, so you got a floor here, and then you got the stairs that go even further down, which is where everything else is, the bottom floor. Okay, because my mom had a split level home. So I literally see this shadow person walk up the stairs and walk into my view, and I actually see it out the corner of my eye very clearly. And then I turn, and I literally still see it walking up the steps and right into my view. And I was like, whoa! And then as soon as I said that, it disappeared. Gotta be careful because my roommate's sleep because he's got to go to work tomorrow. So. Sorry. But anyway, but yeah, so, yeah, I had that experience. But I knew it was happening. I saw it with my own two eyes. Your eyes don't lie to you, people. You know, they always say your mind's playing tricks on you, your eyes are playing tricks on you. That's a lie. That's just a program that they put in your head, into your ego, to make you think that, so that you won't see the stuff. Even if you see it, you'll never believe it. See, that's how they control people. They put these seeds in your mind, and when it blooms, you never believe the things you see first. That's why you doubt it. You doubt it so much. And I mean, everybody doubts. The ones that don't believe these things, even if they see it right in front of their face, they doubt it so much. And it gets carried down from generation to generation. That doubt becomes part of the program for everybody else. Okay? And then, this is exactly what happens. You have a child. The child is born. They're learning things. They see everything that you doubt, because their minds are free from the program for the most part. But once you plant that seed to say that they're not real, or it's just your imagination, or you know, or they start saying, "Oh, don't listen, it's just his imagination. He's just a kid." You will be surprised what kids see. I mean, they know this now, but there's still other people out there that do that to their own kids. They know what they saw. They saw with their own two eyes. Their minds are free from the program, but the program gets instantly added to their ego once you plant a seed in their head, because you want them to be like you. You want them to grow into a person that you want them to grow into. You never want to do that. You always make sure that your child, who is born to be what the Creator wanted them to be, their mind is fresh, it's clean. There's no clutter. The clutter gets added when you plant these seeds in their head. That's the reason why we are the way we are, because our parents did the same thing. They didn't know any better. They were part of that. I won't say they were a part of the program, but they were affected by the program as well. See, the generation now has been born into the program, so we can't help it. Our parents can't help it. Their parents couldn't help it. Their parents could help it, and so on and so forth. Once the program was put in place so long ago that no one can even remember when it happened, that's when it started. It's just that nobody knows who did it. Nobody knows when they did it, because it happened so far back. You'll never be able to solve the mystery on why it's like this. But it can be broken if you stop believing what they tell you not to believe. And when I say that, I mean the government. They cover everything up. They lie. They steal. They cheat. They even kill. They buy mountains so you can stay away from Area 51. They literally buy mountains. I didn't know you could even do that until I saw what Richard Branson did. The man built his own island from the floor of the ocean up. Okay? Now, Mark Zuckerberg bought a huge plot in Hawaii, knocking the actual people that own the land off of their own property. Okay? We got a man who practically bought an entire island for it to become a private one. You wanna know who that was? Richard Branson. So I say all that to say this. The program causes all these negative things to happen in your head, with your ego. Doubt, fear, sorrow, all that stuff. All these things, it helps you fear the stuff that you can't explain. Like seeing a UFO flying directly over your house. And I mean talking big as life, because it's like practically on top of you. Then all of a sudden, you're standing there again, but the UFO is gone. But here's the crazy part. You're actually standing towards the house. The first time you were standing away, your back was to the house, looking up. That time, you woke up from where you came from. You were standing facing the house. That has happened before. Some people would look at their clock and see what time it was before that happened. Next thing you know, it's like, it say it was 9 o'clock at night. You look at your watch, when you just happen to just be there, boom, just like you snap out of whatever trance you was in, if you were in a trance, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So you've been gone for like almost 8 hours. Okay, we talking about 9 o'clock. Okay, not almost 8 hours. So that was 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Well, yeah, almost 8 hours. That's 6 hours. Ow. Anyway, so but yeah, the program is crazy. And like I said, everything I talk about, even if it's not about, people who vanish in national parks, all of it's connected. Everything that has been happening in these national parks is one little piece to a big puzzle. You put all those pieces in the right spot, and then you step back and look at the puzzle to see what it tells you, it's gonna blow your mind. Okay, but we gotta put the pieces together. We gotta solve this stuff. Okay? And furthermore, now that David Paulides put it out there about the whole wormhole thing, wormhole energy, because that's the actual spot where Dale Stelling disappeared or vanished, maybe you'll start to believe too. So if you hear a story about a young man or a young girl, depending on what the age, we're talking about either the age of Christopher Tompkins or the age of Theo Kuntz and or Kenneth Neil Howard. Okay? When you see that, you'll figure it out. It'll be part of the puzzle. I mean, all of this is part of the puzzle. And once you solve the puzzle, your mind will be wiped clean of a lot of clutter. The only problem is, when that day comes, you may literally go insane because every single thing that you have ever known to be your life turned out to be a complete lie. This, my friends, is the returning of the balance. And the only reason why I say that is because when the balance returns, our angels will return as well. He's laughing right now. But yeah, because he knows it's coming. It's right on top of our heads. I can feel it. I can actually feel the balance because I'm an agent of the balance. I have to feel it because I'm caught in the middle. When I say caught in the middle, I'm caught in the middle of light and dark because I have a lot of positive things that happen in my life, a lot of negative things that happen in my life. It's always been like that because that's part of the balance. You can't have one without the other. People will tell you they don't want to have no kind of darkness in their life. You're going to have darkness in your life regardless because that's the only way you're going to be balanced. You have to. And my life is very balanced. It's just that it teeters every once in a while. Sometimes something bad happens. I got to clean it up with something good. Mainly with money. But, who doesn't go through these problems? So But like I said, I have bad situations, I have good situations. But that's all part of the balance. You can't have good without the bad. You can't have light without the dark. You can't have night without day. You can't have sunrise without sunset. You can't have smile without a frown. Think about it. We smiling all the time. We get stuck. We be looking like the Joker all the time. So we have to frown to keep that from happening. Now, if we frown all the time, we be looking like this. So there's got to be an even balance. That look in between, a frown or a smile, or a pout or a smile. Yeah, that's how you say it. Either a pout or a smile. You can't have one. You gotta have both. Okay, you can't have one without the other. There's no one or the other. If you smile every day, all day, even when you're not in front of people, you at home, you sleep, or you in the shower, you just constantly smile. Now, if you just happy, that's one thing. But if you just smiling, and you're just happy all the time, not saying being happy all the time isn't good, but you still have to have a moment when you're sad or when you're angry or pissed off. Energy is an emotion. It affects you, so it's going to happen regardless. But once again, there has to be a balance. You can't be happy all the time. You got to stay in a neutral zone. Like right now, look at my face. See it? This is the neutral zone. Now, if I want to get happy, I smile. If I want to get sad, I let my face drop. If I want to pout like a 4-year-old, that's what I do. But I can't do that all day. I can't do that all day because my jaw will lock. I can feel it when I do that. It's like a little tug right here, right here, the front of my jaw, right here. So I can't do that all the time. I gotta release that. So I gotta let my face stay calm, and bam, you have your neutral zone. Now, if I want to be happy and excited, but I can't look like this all the time. I'll be looking like a crazy guy. A person that smiles all the time, they gonna instantly think you insane because they be like, oh, he gotta be on something, probably on some PCP or something. So there's gotta be a neutral zone. Okay, it has to be a balance, and I ain't talking like avatar balance. I'm talking like the true balance. I'm not talking about the balance you heard of. I'm talking about the true balance. I'm not talking about the balance you heard in the Bible or read in the Bible. I'm talking about the true balance, because the balance in the Bible would be, I won't say Armageddon. It would be the rapture. I think that's the balance, but it's not true. It's not true. Okay, I just had a flash in my head of a little kid. I think it was a girl with a big old, it might have been a little boy, but it had like an afro. The hair was all over, looking like, I won't say like buckwheat, but looked like you just had, it's like hair was just all matted up. It just popped in my head just real fast. I hope that won't be another kid that just vanished. Because I've been getting into like young black children that have been vanishing too, or being kidnapped or whatever. Like the situation in DC like last year or 2 years ago, where all these young black teenagers was turning up missing in all in DC. But anyway, like I said, people, the balance is returning, and once the balance returns, so will our guardian messengers. And that is the point where you're probably going to blow your mind, because all the years of your life, you heard about the messengers. You heard that they had wings. You seen that they had wings on TV and in picture books, the internet. You heard that they save lives, the lives of their charges, us, the humans. They were created to just exist, but with a purpose. A lot of those purposes are to guide and guard and protect us and teach. They are the ones that were supposed to be giving us the knowledge, not science, not textbooks, not teachers, not professors, not TV, not documentaries, but our guardians. They were the purveyors of information, because are eternal. Okay, they have lived for a very long time. They have probably been to other levels as guardians. But think about this. This is going to blow your mind. Think about it. Per every single human, there's a guardian. So think about how many people is on this planet. Now think about all the humans that's on these other levels. Think about it. I won't even say carbon copies, but identical copies of this very planet and the people, our doppelgangers. Think about it. A mirror planet. And then go to the next one. And then the next one. And the next one after that. Every single one of those humans has a guardian. There's a lot of children that Gaia was spitting out. Including us. But see, before we became this, we were nothing but energy. Think about it. Energy that can become one with a physical vessel to work as a unit. And that's what it's doing right now. It's working as a unit with my physical vessel. The part of me that is speaking to you is my inner being. You just know me as Insane Disappearances, who dresses real nice all the time. And very handsome. Nice looking glasses. I just got some noodles. So, but anyway. But like I said, the part of me that's speaking to you is my inner being. It's just that it is covered by this physical vessel because I live in a three-dimensional plane. I have to have a three-dimensional vessel. And a three-dimensional physical vessel. Because if I'm on a physical plane, I have to have a physical form, which is a human form. This is my human form. Now, let me break that down for you how I can explain that. Last year, I was on Instagram and there was a comment that was posted on there about how a woman and a guy was going back and forth saying how we were all gods ourselves because we create life. No, we're not. And we don't create life. We do create something, but it's not life. The only one that can do that is the Creator, our Father. He creates life. Life of all kinds. Even the life that we don't quite understand yet. I understand it, but a lot of us don't. Or we can't comprehend it. What we create is the physical vessels for this energy, which is our inner being. Okay? It's like an incubator or an exoskeleton, if you want to call it that. You'll be surprised at the things that you hear about on TV, like exoskeletons. Okay? A living energy within our physical vessel. This body that circulates around the heart, which is how everything in our body works. This is where the growth comes from. Right here. The center of your chest, where the inner being resides. Around your heart. Not your heart itself, but around your heart. And the energy from the inner being itself, my inner being, or me, it's always kind of hard to say that because you're talking about yourself, but you're talking to yourself in a third term or a second term. It's weird, because you have to explain it separately so you can understand what the inner being is anyway. So you have to talk about it like as if it's a separate, well, it actually is, but the body is just a unit along with it to work together. A tri-unit, if you want to call it. But anyway, like I said, think of it as an exoskeleton. We create the exoskeletons for the energy that comes here to live in the physical plane. Mainly because they were incarnated into the physical plane to live as a human because they wanted to see what it was like, I guess. Or they may have a purpose here on this plane to do a very, very extraordinary thing, like being a guardian of Earth and nature, protecting it, or anything that has anything to do with nature, that but also mean human lives, or anything that is of nature, like bugs, animals, gnats, microbes, anything that has life, that person or that guardian would protect it, or that energy will protect it. Think about it. We are all created by a process of creation that was put together by the Creator. And that process trickled down through the ages, creating life as we go along. But that life starts off as energy. Nothing but, because the energy is coming straight from him. A piece of his energy is given a consciousness and abilities, if you want to call it. But it's just natural abilities because it's energy. Energy can harness energy. Energy can work along with energy. Energy can create energy. You'd be surprised. It just depends on how they do it. But you have to understand it first. You have to comprehend it. And see, that's the reason why the generations before us have done what they've done. They created this program because they could not comprehend anything that they were telling them. So, in order for them to understand it for themselves, they created all of this stuff. The words in books, the definitions, the labels, all that crap, they created that so they could comprehend what they were trying to tell them. For some reason, they couldn't get it. But they still did what they had to do because that was their job. That's what they were created for. Okay? They were created to just exist, but with a purpose because they are eternal. That's why, okay, oh, see, now this is, that's why he said that. He planted a seed. Damn. That is crazy. Of course, when I was first told this, he told me that all guardians or all energy was created to just exist, but with a purpose. But he said that because energy is eternal. So that means we are eternal. Think about that. The only reason why we don't think that is because we live in a physical plane. And we have a process of a type of existence. We are born to live in this existence with our life. We work, we play, we do whatever it is we do. We grow old, and then we die. But it's not us that dies. It's the body, the physical vessel that dies. See, the physical vessel has a time limit. Okay? It just depends on when that time limit ends. But let's just say that you have an opportunity to keep your human body and become immortal. Think about that. Most people would say, oh, you're crazy. There is no such thing as immortality. Correct me if I'm wrong if I just said this, but if energy is eternal and you know that your spirit, your soul, all that is energy, combined with your consciousness, it becomes your inner being. That is energy, nothing but. Think about it. This isn't the first time you had a physical vessel. You just don't realize that because anybody that goes from one life or one existence to another, their mind has to be wiped clean in order to have a clean slate. That way you can live this life without the distraction of whatever life you had before that. Think about it. You're living here in the physical plane with this physical body, physical vessel. And then once this physical vessel dies, you shed this physical vessel. And you just go on after that as energy. Now you can decide to go to another existence in another life somewhere else on another level or right here. Once you go to a place called I don't know what do you call that place. I said this before. Darn it. I hadn't said it in a while, so sometimes I tend to forget. It's called the darn it. I almost had it. Well, it's basically limbo, but it's called something else. It's called the resting place. I think it's called the resting place. Something like that. Anyway, you go there and you can make the choice to either stay there and rest, or it's called the waiting place or something like that. Anyway, you could either go there and just stay there to rest or do whatever. You have an eternity to do it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Or you could choose to go live a life somewhere else on another level, another parallel earth, if you will, or right here on this level in the physical plane. You'll just be incarnated into the cycle again, or a cycle, and you can choose to be whatever you want. You could be animal, or no, well, you could choose to be any kind of creature. You could be an animal that walks on land, or a creature that walks or swims in the ocean. If you want to be a fish or shark, you can choose to be a shark. You don't have to be tied down by the program. Animals are never tied down by the program because they live their life freely. That's the reason why they run amok around in the woods. I got deer running through my subdivision all the time. Because they're free to roam without the confines of a house or a job. Okay, they have families. Yeah, they feed them. They make sure they get fed. But that's what they do. And see, think about it. Can you imagine us living the same way without the house? And if we we still gotta have a house, for shelter and all that stuff, right? But it wouldn't be like this. We probably have a log cabin in the woods somewhere, living it up in the wilderness. Survive, and I wouldn't even call it survival, but it's just a better way of living. Everything's natural. You ain't got to worry about pesticides being in your food. You ain't got to worry about them chopping down all of the naturally grown fruit crops just because we got it too easy. We don't have to go to the grocery store for fruit. Just go outside and pluck a fruit off your darn tree. That stuff grew naturally everywhere. That's why I said before, the Creator put everything on earth for us to have. We didn't need grocery stores. We didn't need money to buy the food for the grocery stores. All we had to do was go outside. You have fruit trees. You want to go fish? You go to a lake and fish. You wanted some food? Get your bow and arrow and hunt for a deer or whatever else. Now, as long as you're doing it for food to feed your family, that's okay. But if you hunt for sport, which is the reason why a lot of hunters end up turning up missing. Think about it. You're hunting on their territory. You're killing their brethren. Nature spirits are related to these animals because they are spirits themselves. They're animal spirits. But they have an inner being. All physical creatures have an inner being. All of them. Even the little tiniest little gnat, the ones that get on your nerves. Even they have an inner being. But they also have a purpose. Their purpose is to buzz around your head and drive you crazy. That's their purpose. And the other purpose is to get whacked and killed. It's part of their purpose. That's what they were created for. Oddly as it sounds, that's what it is. Everything that has an energy signature has a purpose. Like, say, if I pick up a pencil, it's made out of wood, so it has an energy signature. Energy that comes straight from the earth. But it has a purpose as well. Its purpose is to be made into a pencil and used to write on your school books. It's even purpose for you to be chewing on it. Because, you get nervous, you chew on your pencil. I used to do that too. I used to chew on the little metal part to make the eraser bulky so you can be able to use it, because when it gets real flat you can't use it no more. So you bite on it, make it pop up from the inside, and it looks like a little hill. It's purpose for that too. All energy has a purpose. Even that little piece of metal has a purpose. It's an energy. So that energy has a consciousness. It's a consciousness you can't understand, but it has a consciousness because it also has a purpose. Its purpose was to be made into that little piece to be put on that pencil and to be bitten. All that is a purpose. It's a very weird purpose, but it's a purpose. People just don't see it that way because they don't look at anything that's an inanimate object having a purpose. That was his purpose too, to be an inanimate object. Think about it. I'm just saying. Everything that has an energy has a purpose, and especially if it's made naturally from the earth. You got synthetic furniture nowadays. It's not even complete wood. Just like doors now are not complete wood. They're not wood at all anymore. Either petrified wood or there's some kind of, it's like mixed with plastic and soft metal or some crap. Because when I bang on the door, it's hard as a rock. So it could be petrified wood, I guess. But that's the way they make doors now. I remember back in the day when I was living in New York, all doors were wood. The doors in my house were wood. I mean, you could take a knife and just kind of shimmy a little bit just to break off a piece, and it's straight wood. Because, see, the house that I lived in was built in 1884. So everything was natural back then. The houses, you didn't have they had petrified wood, but they weren't mixing stuff together to make a substance. Yeah, they mix stuff together to make things, and then they turn it into something. They put all these different chemicals together in solutions, and next thing you know, you got a door that's hard as rock or a piece of metal. It's crazy. That's not natural. Wooden doors were natural, but see, I did hear, or I think someone told me a long time ago when I talked about why my door ain't real wood. There's reason for that. There's molding of the wood and the heat of the sun beating down on the wood, causing the wood to wither and dry up and crack, because wood has moisture in it, and moisture sometimes keeps the wood together. But when it dries up and that heat is constantly beating down on it, the molecules in the moisture of the wood and the molecules in the wood itself tend to break down, and then all of a sudden it starts to chip away. Okay, I'm seeing it. It's not very good. Just saying. It's just like with my new wave oven. When I use it all the time, it will crack because the molecules inside the plastic dome breaks down with the constant heat that's being beaten and circulated around it on the inside. And that's the reason why they crack, because the molecules break down by drying up. Because plastic does have a little moisture to it, but that's what keeps it together. And once it dries up, the object that is being made into cracks. Simple. But anyway, guys, I'm rambling on about a bunch of stuff because you need to know this stuff. But anyway, the whole point is, everything that I talk about on my channel, even when I'm not talking about missing people, there's a reason for that. It's all connected. And I am bringing the connection to you so you can figure it out, because you're part of that connection too. You're part of that puzzle. We all are. Okay? And the answers are coming, my friends. The answers are coming, and so are our guardian messengers. And I'm going to say that from now on. That's going to be my new word. Guardian messengers, because that's what they are. But see, they call them angels and messengers, which is stupid. Call them what they are. Yeah, I know. But yeah, call them what they are. Messengers. Guardian messengers. Or you can just say your guardian, who's a messenger for the Creator and for you. You want to answer? You want a question answered? Tell it to your guardian. He'll ask the Creator. He'll answer. Or you can talk to your inner being. Ask it a question. Just quietly talk to your inner being through mental telepathy. And the first thing you hear in your mind is the one thing that you need to listen to, because that would be your inner being speaking to you. I can feel my inner being right now. I can literally feel it circulating around my heart. And I can feel the energy surging through my body, through every inch of it. It's an amazing feeling. But anyway, guys, it's getting late. It's been 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 58 seconds. And it's also 2:53 in the morning. So I know if you guys are up watching my shows, then this will be perfect for you. I know I love you. I love you Nighthawks, man. Y'all cool, because I'm a Nighthawk too. That's why I'm still up. I don't have to be working till tomorrow, but most people, normal people, will be in the bed by now. But see, I'm normal as well, but not the kind of normal they are. But anyway, guys, I really enjoyed today's episode. Before I go, I saw a tweet by Giorgio A. Tsoukalos from, Ancient Aliens, the guy with the Dying King hair. He sent a tweet out earlier stating, and I quote, "My friend Stanton Friedman has passed on." I almost dropped my phone. I was like, what? I've been seeing this dude since that crappy video incident in Lake County. he was actually on there. What was that? Did y'all hear that? My TV's playing, but it's down below. I heard it was like right here. I was talking, so I didn't really hear what it was. I hope it came up on the computer, so I can play it back. But anyway, yep, Stanton Friedman has passed. I don't think it says why he passed. He might have had a heart attack when he died in his sleep. or he might have been ill. He just wasn't telling nobody. I mean, he ain't got to tell us. I mean, it's none of our business. Okay, what it says here. Stanton was a walking encyclopedia and one of the wittiest and generous human beings I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. His contributions to the UFO field will remain unparalleled. Thank you for the laughs and insights. Wow. And it's hashtag RIP Stanton. Wow. That's definitely a shock. You know, it was a shock when I first heard it. You know, well, not first heard it, but first saw it on Twitter. I was like, dang, man. And you know, the funniest thing, you ever notice that a lot of celebrities tend to die in threes? Think about it. Let's go to TV stars. First one was Luke Perry, which was very surprising. The man had a massive stroke. Obviously, he was eating the wrong food, too many fried foods for that matter. Well, cooking with too much oil, really, because you know it clogs your arteries and inflames them, and you have a lot of problems. The second one, I believe, was Neo from Young and the Restless. Yeah, I was shocked about that too. They said he just died. I think they said he also had a massive stroke, which is kind of strange. Two superstars of TV both having a massive stroke. Weird. And then, of course, you have the great director, John Singleton. You know, proprietor of Boys in the Hood, one of my favorite movies of the early 90s. The man spoke the truth through his movies. And I love that about him. You know, he's made a lot of movies, you know, like Jacob's Ladder, Menace to Society, or was that the Hughes Brothers? Yeah, I think, Menace to Society was the Hughes Brothers. That was my bad. But yeah, he's directed and produced a lot of movies. The man was a genius. But he died at the age of 52 or 53, I believe. And I think, what was it he died from? I can't even remember what he died from, but I'll find out. But anyway, but yeah. So I just wanted to make sure I got that part out, you know, before, because I thought about that earlier that I was going to make sure I said it. So I want to make sure I did, and I did. So Stanton Friedman, you rock, dude. Rest in peace, which you will. And see, he knows the truth now as well. Trust me. Oh, he knows the ultimate truth. Once you pass that line of, you know, from life to death, well, you gonna find out. Of course, you'll be, you know, passed on by that point, but you'll find out. Trust me. I know that for a fact because most of my family members that I actually was in contact with through mental telepathy told me. They were very surprised. You know, but they had time to cope with it because time really doesn't exist where they are because they go by cycles. And we go by cycles too, but just not in the manner that they go by. They use cycles in place of time and clocks and stuff. Just saying. But anyway, that was a pretty crazy thing to hear. I was surprised, you know, because he was one of the people that paved the way, you know. So, but yeah, you know, like I said, he knows the truth now. And see, the thing is, once you find out the truth, everything changes. Now, see, I'm trying to make sure you guys find out the truth now. And you're gonna find out. Some of you may not. I don't know. I don't know when this is gonna happen, and they don't completely know. The only one that does know is the Creator. But if they don't know, that means none of us are supposed to know when this is gonna happen because it's that element of surprise, the look on your face. Everything has to happen in that manner because it'll help jog you into reality. It'll jog your mind into reality. Break the binds of that freaking program. I'm already there. So there's nothing anybody can tell me. Ever. You can't you can't make me doubt anything. Not one thing. So, but anyway, guys, let me get off of here, man. I gotta just keep talking. Because, you know, it is getting late and I might go upstairs and go to bed because getting a little sleepy. So, without further ado, you know how I do it at the end of every video. And I always stutter every time I get to that part. Every time. You know how see, I can't even say it. I guess it's a tongue twister. But anyway, you know how I do it. Put up the shaka and then another shaka. And I say, what do I say? Oh, you know what I say. Aloha. Mahalo. And ahuiho. Or ahuiho. That's how you say it. Ahuiho. Peace out, brother. And peace out, Wahine. Love you guys so much. Bye-bye.